instant and survives a solid steel chain being pulled through his neck. Plus a classic of magic will be exposed. And then, the surprising truth behind an impossible levitation.
The magician will now demonstrate another of magic's most famous tricks. He picks up a small metal pan that's solid on the bottom and all the way around. With a lighter, he sets a small fire inside the pan, quickly covering it with a metal lid. Presto! Some flowers for his lovely ladies. But how did he do it? So how does the magician pull off the trick that's been amazing kids at birthday parties for years? Tonight, he reveals the secrets. First, as he's showing us the back of the empty pan, he's concealing a sheet of chemically treated flash paper inside. This is what he ignites with the lighter to cause the fire. When he uses the lid to smother the blaze, he's actually dropping a second pan inside. This pan is slightly smaller and fits snugly in the original pan. Until it's needed, the second pan is secretly held in the lid by these metal spring clamps. The pan snaps into the lid and is held tightly by the springs until they come in contact with the outer pan. This releases the springs, and the secret inner pan drops into place. Now for the flowers. They're made of folded pieces of tissue paper and also contain strips of spring steel. When released, they pop open. Before the trick begins, the magician carefully folds the flowers into the secret pan and loads it into the lid. During the trick, he smothers the fire, releases the secret pan, and reveals the paper flowers. Sometimes a dove or a small rabbit is inside, but either way, the secret is the same. The magician will now demonstrate an illusion that's designed to feature his four leggy assistants and their features. The girls step back up onto the stage as evidenced by their red patent leather boots. Take one last look. The magician commands the curtain to be lowered and raised. In a split second, all four women have vanished. A big finish to the routine, but not exactly what I had in mind. Pretty impressive, masked man. Now be a sport and show us what you did with the girls. So how did the magician make his four lovely dancing girls vanish in an instant? The secrets are something to see. First off, it involves the girls in their very stylish red leather boots. An identical set of four pairs of boots is concealed backstage. The back wall of the stage is built in two sections. When the curtain is lowered, a stagehand behind the wall released a mechanism that allows the top half to swing open. When the girls head back and appear to be walking up and across the stage, they're actually walking the duplicate boots in front of the wall, while they stay behind. Sweet. From the front, it looks like the girls are simply strutting into place behind the curtain. Without the curtain in place, we can see how clearly the girls manipulate the fake legs. These are the boots we see just below the bottom of the curtain. So we know that the girls are behind the wall and the fake legs are in front. But how does he make them vanish? There's another secret to these tricky boots. They have hooks built right in. See? I wouldn't lie. A pipe is lowered from the ceiling. Just as the top of the wall flips open, the girls have just enough room to hook the boots onto the pipe. By the time the curtain is being lowered, the boots are already hooked over the pipe. Just a split second before the curtain rises, the trick wall is closed and the pipe is raised, taking the boots along for the ride. Without the curtain in place, this is what the audience would see. not very magical. All that's left for the magician to do is take the credit for a job well done by his assistants.
Up next, find out how the magician escapes the chains of death and the amazing secret to an impossible levitation.
Something tells me this next trick is going to involve this sturdy length of chain, and lucky for us, the magician's lovely assistants. The magician tugs on the chain to prove that it's solid. He then drapes the chain over his head so that it rests behind his neck. Next, he wraps the chain one more time around his neck and pulls the two ends to the front. These ends he ties in a knot and hands to the two ladies. Trusting guy. One more look at the knot, and the magician steadies his nerves. The girls are ready. On his command, they pull the chain, and it magically passes right through his neck. He's unharmed. The chain and his neck are still in one piece. Now, here's the secret. The chain is real, and it's made of solid steel. It hasn't been prepared in any way. The key to this illusion is the manner in which the magician places the chain around his neck. By using some sleight of hand, the magician pretends to wrap the chain completely around his neck. It's pretty convincing. From this angle, you can see that the chain is merely wrapped to the back and looped, giving the impression that it completely circles his neck. From the front, it appears as though he's completing the circle with a dangerous knot. Instead, he's actually doubled back the chain so that it will easily slip to the front when the assistants pull on it. Here we can see that the loop is tucked behind his jacket to keep it hidden from view. When the assistants tug the chain, they're simply releasing the loop and pulling the chain to the front. Look closely and you can see the chain slipping around his neck, not through it, just like unraveling a sweater. This rear angle shows the direction of the chain as the loop is pulled out. The magician and the assistants have to take care while performing this trick since there is a real danger of the chain links getting tangled. If they do, this harmless illusion can quickly become a harmful strangulation. They've practiced many times, so don't try this one at home. Popular extreme magicians have been making themselves float through the air as proof of their unusual freakish powers. Tonight, the masked magician joins them. He's made his way to the top of his secret warehouse and intends to demonstrate the extent of his unique abilities in broad daylight. As you can see, he's completely alone on the roof, and there are no visible wires or hydraulic lifts around to aid him in his attempt to levitate. Watch carefully, and let's see if he's as good as the street magicians who claim they can do this for real. Wow, he's floating off the roof. Well, it certainly looks like he's floating, but that could be an illusion. Let's watch some more. He's now hovering over the building without any visible means of support. This actually does look pretty freaky. He's floating in midair. It's effortless. Maybe he's just thinking happy, wonderful thoughts like Peter Pan. He couldn't possibly be thinking about the 3-story fall to the concrete below. As we can see from the back, he's not wearing any kind of James Bond jetpack. These incredible angles show a complete view of the magician and the area around him. He's achieving the impossible. Watch now as he begins to float down toward the earth with nothing above and nothing below to help him accomplish this trick through devious means. And there he is, safe on the ground.
the masked magician will expose the amazing truth behind his incredible levitation.
We just saw the masked magician climb to the roof of his secret warehouse, rise up and float effortlessly through the air without any visible means of support. These incredible angles show a complete view of the magician and the area around him. This feat is truly a miracle. Or is it? So how does the magician rise up off the roof and float through the sky like a superhero? The secret may come as a bit of a surprise, so I'll let you down easy. He doesn't have superpowers. He's not even in control of his own flight path. The man in charge is right here, sitting in the cab of a 50-foot crane. Dangling from the top of this crane is a set of very thin aircraft cables, the same kind used to make Peter Pan fly on Broadway and in theaters across the country and around the world. Concealed beneath the magician's jacket is a specially designed harness that has been used on stage for decades. Before the trick begins, the crane operator lowers the cables down to the stagehands who attach them securely to the harness. Once they're double and triple checked, the magician is ready to fly with the greatest of ease. But why don't we see the cables suspending him in the air? The secret is the bright sky. Remember I said he wanted to show you his power in broad daylight and that there were no visible wires? That's because the glare from the bright sun and sky makes the wires impossible for the cameras and even the human eye to detect. From the proper angle, the brightness of the sky blocks the cables, making them invisible. From this angle, you can see that the camera can pick up the wires, shattering the illusion. While demonstrating his supposedly magical abilities, we saw the magician alter his flight pattern with nothing above or near him. The secret here involves moving the crane. In between shots of the magician in the air, the crane was repositioned to allow the operator the freedom to fly the magician in different directions. Clever editing of the various angles makes it look like he's flying around the parking lot. The most difficult part of this trick is lowering the magician to a soft landing. How about that? It is done with wires after all.
Next time, the masked magician returns to reveal more of magic's biggest secrets.
Next tonight, back with a brand new series, it's Cops with Cameras. Dexter's back in the new series too, and he'll be on the hunt for his next victim in the US drama at 10. And later at 11, there's explosive martial arts combat in Cage Gladiators.